welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Cassandra, and if you are not new, welcome. I'm so glad you came back again for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top most used toys and activities for kids around the ages 1 through 4. This is a little different from some of my other videos, a little departure. I am a mom, and so that is what I do. I find it really interesting as a mother and as a minimalist what kids actually need and use, and not having all the extra clutter and fluff. First became a mom, I definitely bought into the fact that I needed something to entertain my children, constantly looking for the next best toy or something that would keep them busy and keep them happy. And I've realized after 4 years of being a mom, kids don't play with that much stuff. My kids, at least, go back to the same things over and over again. So a little bit of background, I have a 4-year-old named River and a almost 15-month-old named Dakota. Actually, River's not 4 yet, he'll be 4 in August, so he's like 3 still. But anyway, they just play with the same stuff, and we did a huge declutter recently in the playroom a few times. I have a few videos on kind of what our playroom looks like and the layout, and I will leave those above, even though it definitely has changed since then. No matter what toy is available, they have favorites. And I think the favorites are favorites for a reason. I'm not gonna get into the educational, psychological background of why kids gravitate towards certain kinds of toys or certain kinds of activities, but I have noticed that they have favorites. So that's what I'm gonna share with you today. Our top 10-ish top toys and our top almost 10-ish activities. I didn't really count very well before I filmed this. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So I brought a few of the toys down, but I didn't bring every single thing down. Some of them are a little bit larger. Okay, so this is in no particular order. The first thing I'm going to share with you is these little Dimpls. Basically, it comes in a few different sizes. It teaches you about colors. It also has Braille, which is interesting. It also teaches you shapes. It has the shapes on there. My 1-year-old loves this. She can now do it all by herself. She lays it flat on the ground, pushes them in, flips them over, pushes them in again. She is entertained by this for a very long time. It's like one of those fat brain toys, so it's supposed to help you with, you know, learning and sensory and all that fun stuff. And my son actually likes it too. So fat brain toys. This one's the Dimpl Duo because it's larger. They also make one that's small that can hang on a keychain. Love, love, love this. The next most loved toy is this little egg container. This is by the brand Tomy. It is a little egg container that has individual eggs, and they all have a different shape on the bottom, and it fits into the shape on there, so it's kind of like a puzzle. So heart, circle, star, that kind of thing. And then each egg opens up, and it's a different color, and they chirp. And my son loved this. This was his toy, and now my daughter loves it. And all of the colors are on there, and you can match the color of the face to the color of the egg underneath. There's little faces on them. Anyway, it's just very cute. It's a little annoying when they're scattered everywhere and you're trying to find the shells, but this is a very, very loved toy. Okay, the next favorite toy, and something that I find super useful with really any age, are some kind of stacking toy. It doesn't have to necessarily be this one. This is the one that we have. This is by Green Toys. It has numbers on the bottom of each stacker. I'm actually missing 2 of them right now. They're somewhere in the house. But these are a wonderful way to teach how to balance and stack things. Developmental tool, and also, you know, it's fun for them to knock them over. It's very colorful. You can use these as fun cups to hide different toys in. Play peekaboo. There's so many different things that you can do with stacking cups. These get reached for over and over again. Okay, the next toy is something animal related. Now, it doesn't have to be dinosaurs, but that's what I'm sharing with you today. We have a few different smaller size than this and a few different larger animals than this, but animals in general are a great imagination game. Kids love animals, and anything that they can kind of act out something. My son plays with these all the time, talks to them, has them do little performances or anything like that. These are awesome. So little animals, dinosaurs, my daughter loves these too, or any kind of animal. The next toy is some kind of doctor kit. Now this is the one we have. This is by Melissa and Doug. This is great. This was actually a gift for River maybe 2 years ago, and he still plays with it so much. Comes with, this is a veterinarian one, so it comes with a little card, like a check sheet that you can see what you need to get checked out. Comes with the stethoscope, a little shot, some medicine, a band-aid, a temperature thing. So convenient to take with you if you're going on a trip or something. Actually, all of these are pretty packable, but it's This is wonderful. He loves carrying around the little tote. My daughter loves this too. So some kind of doctor kit. Okay, the next most played with toy, the Magformers or Magnetiles. We have both. I find the Magformers are a little bit easier for younger children, maybe under the age of 4, to assemble. They stick better and they don't fall over as easily. But Magnetiles are also wonderful. And any kind of magnetic toy, it's great for their brain. It's so much fun to put them together, to make up your own thing, to follow along with the instructions. And my daughter also really loves these to chew on or just play with. You know, younger siblings play with anything the older sibling is playing with, but I find that these are really, really interesting. Keep them busy for a good while. Something else I did not bring down, but Legos. My son plays with the mini Lego, like the regular Legos, a little bit, but more so than that, the Duplo, the larger size Legos. He will play with those for hours. He loves building stuff. He loves creating little towns and having the people. And you know, my daughter doesn't really play with them, but she'll definitely grab them because they're colorful and play along with him. Okay, so next on the list is a puppet. This is so awkward. This is our dragon puppet. Can you say hi? Hi. Okay, this is just one of the few puppets that we have. We have a few of these. These are great. They are so much fun. My son can now, you know, wear them and use them, but before he was able to use them himself, he loved me playing puppet with him. You know, you don't even have to crouch behind like a thing and hide like in a puppet show. You can just have a puppet on your arm and they honestly are mesmerized. They think it's the most amazing, fascinating thing, and I think it's really great for the imagination. And my daughter loves them too. She was a little freaked out at first because we were like getting her fingers, and now she like is constantly asking me to put this on. So puppets, any kind of puppet, hand puppet, they love. Okay, next on my list are cars. I only brought 2 down, but we have way more than 2. This one was actually my husband's from when he was a kid. It's like a hand-me-down old little monster truck. Little cars, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, whatever, it doesn't matter. My son, my daughter, they love playing with cars. We bring these to the park, they put them down the slide, we bury them in our sandbox, we bring them in the pool, we bring them in the bath, we bring these everywhere. They're always around, cars for sure. Okay, the last 2 things on my list are kind of like play food related. So the first one I keep in this little tote from Target by Melissa and Doug. It's the Velcro wooden food practice cutting thing, but honestly they use these for so many different play things, you know, just as play food, but it's a great way to learn to cut. I don't think I have the knife down here, of course, but it comes with a little cutting board and a little wooden knife, and you practice cutting the food open, you know, like the watermelon all goes together and then you cut it. So played with. It's unbelievable how much they love to separate the different pieces of food and also just play with it in general. They love setting it all up and dividing it all out. It gets played with over and over. So some kind of Velcro wooden food separating system. I don't even know what you would call this. Practice cutting food? Anyway, they love this. Along with that is our play kitchen. I couldn't bring that down, and that kind of ties in with the play food, but a play kitchen of any kind. You can kind of makeshift one if you don't have like an actual play kitchen. Ours is by Hape or Hape. I'll insert some footage of it somewhere here. And we have play food that goes along with that. Okay, kind of in the same vein. This is by Melissa and Doug. There's a theme here, but you know, Melissa and Doug just makes great toys. It's the ice cream counter. Every time we have kids over, this is the #1 thing everyone wants to play with. Sometimes there's fighting, but for the most part, it's just such a fun toy for kids to learn to like take turns and share and serve. Comes with the ice cream tops and the little cones or the cup. And it's just a great imagination game. Comes with the little scooper that sticks to the top of the ice cream, as well as different toppings, you know, sprinkles. They play with this for hours and hours. Okay, that's it for the toy category. Now I'm gonna hop into another category that I think is equally as important as toys, which is activities. So the first activity that I started doing with my son before he was even 1 year old was drawing. So we've been playing with crayons and markers. I keep everything in this little pencil case. In here we have some popsicle sticks, some scissors he's practicing with, some markers. But the most important, I would say, are crayons. Kids can use them from such a young age, and it's such a great way for them to be creative, but also for them to hold something and to learn how to write and draw. So I also brought up one of these pads. This is by Melissa and Doug, but they make great ones from Target or wherever. We just doodle, you know, sometimes I'll draw with him, sometimes he'll draw by himself. Flatter paint the other day in this sketch pad. Stickers on here, we paint on here, we draw on here. I mean, this is almost used all the way up. I'm pretty sure we need to get a new one. Some of them I write like how old he was when he drew it. That's a little face he made. He's actually very artistic, like he enjoys doing art, so I encourage it. So some kind of sketch pad and something to draw with. And our favorite paints, I will just show you quickly, are watercolors. This was very cheap, just from like Michael's. And then this little acrylic set, or you can get any kind of acrylic paint, but I got this at an art store for him and he loves it. These are actually scented. They smell kind of like fake fruit. Some kind of paint, watercolor, and some paintbrushes, which I didn't bring to show you, but paintbrushes, cheap ones. Don't get anything fancy for kids. The next favorite activity is Play-Doh. I'm not one of those moms who really gets finicky about Play-Doh. We let River play with Play-Doh. Not really Dakota because she'll eat it still, but we let River play with Play-Doh whenever he wants. Play-Doh at the kitchen table. We have no like upholstered anything near there. There's not a rug underneath that kitchen table, and the kitchen table is made out of marble, so it's very easy to clean, and I'm not particular about it. We keep all of our Play-Doh in this big tub. This houses the Play-Doh as well as the toys. He took to painting on it one day. So we just get regular Play-Doh, lots of different tools and things that he can use to play with the Play-Doh. Some of these have been gifted to us. I mean, there's no like specific tool that I'm gonna recommend to you. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Play-Doh tools, but you know, stencils and what are these called? These aren't called stencils. Cookie cutters and presses, you know, Play-Doh, you get the idea. But he knows where this tub is. He can always reach for it. He can always pull it out. It's something I let him do every day, and he does. He plays with Play-Doh almost every single day. Along the same kind of vein as Play-Doh is Kinetic sand, or some people call it magic sand. There's lots of different brands for it now, but this stuff is like heaven, you guys. If you haven't played with Kinetic sand and you're a parent, I mean, get yourself some Kinetic sand. So relaxing. It molds in your hand. It always stays, for the most part. We've had this for 2 years, I think, and left it out, and it doesn't dry out or anything. It's like magnetic sand, so it sticks to itself. Now, it does get messy if you get some little tiny pieces everywhere, but again, we keep this at the dining table. Sometimes we play with it outside, and I always get him like a tub or something. This is what we keep it in right now. It used to come in a bag, but you can get some kind of like Tupperware or tub to play with that in there that's larger, so it doesn't get scattered all over your floor. Tray or something. He puts his cars in there. He puts stencils in there. Why do I keep saying stencils? He puts all kinds of weird things in the Kinetic sand, and it has lasted a very long time. So Kinetic sand is a favorite for sure. Another thing that he has really been loving lately for an activity, this is a little bit too old probably for 1-year-olds, but a board game for young kids, you know. So this is the Sneaky Snacky Squirrel game. It is so much fun. He loves playing this over and over and over. It comes with little housing for your acorns that you win. Spin a spinner to play. Why can't I get this? There you go. You can use the Sneaky Snacky Squirrel to pick up the acorns, put them in your thing. Any kind of young board game. We have a few different ones, but this tends to be the favorite. Hungry Hungry Hippo too is also fun. But any kind of board game that's made for 4-year-olds and under, for toddlers, they love it. They really understand the concept of playing this. Huge win. Something the whole family can do together. It's super fun. Okay, my last 2 things for activities. Some kind of puzzle. Now this is a 4-way puzzle, so it comes with 4 different puzzles inside. It's also by Melissa and Doug. I would just say something that has pretty structured pieces and something they can have and hold in their hand easily. And this one he's starting to really kind of be able to do by himself, but we have larger puzzles that are easier for kids. The big wood ones, I find something with a little bit more of a challenge rather than just like matching one item, like a cat face to a cat face. Keeps him busy longer, and this he really enjoys playing with puzzles. Okay, the last thing for an activity is books. I mean, that's kind of like a no-brainer, right? You're supposed to read to your kids. It's fun to read to your kids. We read every night before we go to bed, but also throughout the day. And board books are our favorite still, for little kids especially, because they can't tear the pages. These are just a few of our favorites, but we have tons of books. I actually did a book declutter recently. I tend to rotate our books, so he has a shelf in his bedroom with books that we can read at night, and then every once in a while we'll go into our library and go into the closet of a tub and switch out some of the books. My daughter is also really getting into reading. She really likes the pop-up peekaboo ones, or the ones that are touch and feel, and she will like walk over with a book and like shove it in my face and sit in my lap and tell me to read to her. So books are an amazing thing. I think it's so important to read to your kids, and it's really fun. The whole family likes it. Okay, so that's it for my top most used toys and activities for kids 1 through 4. I hope you guys got some information out of this and found it interesting to see what my kids play with. I wonder if your kids play with the same thing. Leave me a comment and let me know if your kids also play with any of these toys, or if any of these are their favorites. I'd like to know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thumbnail! What is a good thumbnail? Boop, boop. And okay, y'all. I think that's it.